Let's make this fun birthday card with these gorgeous pattern papers and some foiling without heat. Hi, it's Beth. Welcome. Today is the KCC 16 Crafty Critta Hop. So Crafty Critta is a new sponsor for KCC 16. They are, I believe, based out of Australia, and they started out with storage, like crafty storage options, and have now kind of transitioned into, in addition to storage, they have some paper packs, a lot of foiling products, and kind of some mixed media items as well that go with foiling. And so today I have several products that they were kind enough to send for me to play with. I have 2 paper packs. This one, it's kind of like alcohol ink blending, but it's got a nice marbly effect with the gold that's in there. So this is just gorgeous. It's alcohol ink blending that I don't have to actually do. So that one will be fun. And then I have a second one here, and there's 4 each of the designs in the paper pack. They are single-sided. It's nice quality paper. And this one has more of a melted wax kind of effect, but it's all in pastels. So it's really pretty as well. So that's kind of an example of the papers. They also sent me the silver scales foil. I don't have a mink and or the proper printer really to use my laminator, so I am going to be foiling without heat today, so we will be able to play with that. And then they also sent, which is amazing, the stamping blending paper. So it's 8.5 by 11. It's 250 GMS, which is really nice, thick, good quality. So that is an awesome product as well. So this is a hop, so there is a playlist linked in the description box below. You can go through and just kind of watch all of the design team members who are crafting with Crafty Critta products and see the amazing projects that they're going to be making as well. But let's jump into mine. I'm going to be working with Sketch 12 today, so I picked out 2 of, one piece of pattern paper from each pack that coordinated with, the colors really well together, and I'm going to cut those down to the measurements that are on Sketch 12. So Kendra's Card Challenge, if you are unfamiliar, Cards by Kendra puts together a cutting guide that helps you take 6 by 6 sheets of pattern paper, and then she gives you sketches that help you take those 6 sheets and turn them into 15 cards. So it's a great way to get kind of a nice variety batch of cards made. And so she puts together this PDF each quarter, and it is free if you sign up for a free Patreon membership with her. She does have other tiered Patreon memberships that have more amazing benefits, but if you just want the PDF cutting guide, you can sign up for a free account and be able to download it that way. One nice thing too about her sketches is, you can make all 15 cards, or you can just make one at a time. So each sketch has its own individual measurements on it, and that's what I'm using today to be able to just make my one card. So I have my pieces cut and then kind of arranged in order of the sketch. And now I'm going to stamp a sentiment. I'm using the watercolor stamping paper that Crafty Critta provided. I just cut it down and I'm going to stamp my sentiment in some basic black ink. And then I will let it dry for a bit. And then we'll do some foiling work to it. Just trying to make sure I get a nice dark image there. So I set that aside and let it dry, and now I am coming in. I found a Zig 2-way glue pen in my stash, which I'm sure I haven't used in a long time, but it still worked. It still had lots of nice wet glue in it. So I'm just basically coloring in the letters and the word wish with my glue pen, trying to make sure that there's a good amount of glue, that I get as good a coverage as I can. So you kind of see me come back in a couple times and touch up a few spots that I think I might have missed. And then give it a good look over. And then I'm going to set that side and let it dry until it becomes like more tacky. So while that's drying, I'm going to work on building my card base here. I brought in a black card mat just because I thought that would help the colors pop. And so my mat is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then Kendra's, I don't think I mentioned it, but Kendra's sketches are for A2 size cards, but you can easily adapt them to different size cards based on whatever size you tend to make. So I'm going to glue my individual pieces down here onto my mat. And the sketch, this is kind of a fun sketch. It's, you know, you're cutting a couple of angles and then you're piecing together like the different patterns together to make a panel for like the bottom half of the card and then 2 pieces for the top of the card. So it's just kind of a fun, whimsical sketch to me. But I thought it would be a good way to showcase these as well as some of the foiling. So my glue has had a chance to dry and become tacky. So I'm just using my bone folder to come in and rub it down gently, but with a little bit of force just to help that foil stick to the glue. And then I'm going to kind of peel it up slowly just to see if it stuck. And it did in most places. There was a couple places I think I must have missed glue on the W. So I am going to add just a little bit of more glue to those spots that I missed. And then I'm going to set it aside again to dry a bit. So I'll come back to my card mat. I am using some 1/8 inch score tape. So this is like double-sided, really sticky, really strong double-sided tape. And I'm using the smallest width that I have, which is an 1/8 inch. And I'm using my little finger blade here to trim off the edges so that it's, you know, angled flush to the edge of that piece. And so I'm basically creating some borders just to help separate the different lines where the paper meets on the card mat. And before I forget, while I'm putting this down, in the description box you'll find again the playlist for all the design team members playing with Crafty Critta products today. There's also a link to the video where you can find out how to get the KCC 16 PDF from Cards by Kendra. So be sure to look for that if you need it. And then also in the description box there is a giveaway form. So you fill that out and have a chance to win a prize. Alright, so I managed to get most of the W covered. And I didn't mean to throw it aside, but didn't realize that's what I did until I came back to edit this video. But I've peeled off the backer of my double-sided tape, and I'm just laying the foil down on top of it and rubbing. Like this tape, you know, it's nice and sticky, so it doesn't take a whole lot of pressure to make the foil stick. So just kind of creating some shiny divider lines here. And you can see how well that covered. And I decided I'm going to turn the sketch on the PDF is vertical. I'm going to turn mine horizontal because I had such a big sentiment, and then decided to go with a oval instead of a circle. So I just used a scalloped oval die. I'm going to adhere my card mat down, and then we'll add my sentiment. I thought about bringing in some balloon, like a balloon die, a small balloon die, and trying to foil those, but I played with it, and my balloon dies, the ones that I have, are stitched around the edge, and I couldn't make that work with the foiling. Like, it just left some gaps there. So I also decided that there was really enough going on with the background of this card. I wanted to add a little bit of dimension, so I just brought in some clear pops of color to add some dots around my oval, and then considered the front of that done. So here's my finished card. Got all that shine and kind of almost like texture, but not really. The paper makes it look like there's a lot of texture, but. And then on the inside, I did come back in and stamp "It's Your Day" and added a scrap to finish off the card. Please be sure again to check out the links in the description box below for the products I used today, as well as for the playlist and all of the other important links for the PDF and the giveaway form. Thank you so much for your time today, and I hope you all have a very crafty day.